Good morning, it's Monday the 28th of December and my apologies for missing 2 Saturdays. I will explain why and why our Christmas was a bit different from the Christmas we expected. We were carrying on nicely as a family and everything, and things were fine, and then on the night of the 18th, the morning of the 19th of December, my husband was taken seriously ill. Not COVID, I'm not talking about anything like that. And he had to be rushed into hospital and he required emergency surgery and has been in intensive care all over Christmas and also in high dependency. Let me get it right. He was in intensive care for 5 days, but he's been in high dependency since Christmas Eve and he's still in high dependency. He's still poorly. But we live in hope. We're not giving up on him. We believe in him. And it's been the weirdest of Christmases. In fact, I said to Joe on Christmas Eve, I'm cancelling Christmas and giving the elves a few days off because it's very hard to focus on having fun and a good time, if you're like me and you don't like Christmas anyway, when somebody you really care about is stuck in a hospital 2 miles down the road and you can't visit. I mean, the nursing staff have been amazing in intensive care and the ones in high dependency are beyond amazing. But when you can't visit because of the COVID thing and you don't like to be ringing up every hour because they've got a job to do and you feel like you're powerless and it's not nice. In a normal situation, you'd be able to visit decent long visiting hours in our hospitals, but in the current situation the patient doesn't see anybody who's familiar, and it must be really difficult if you're a patient and it's very difficult if you're family. So yeah, I have been all over the place in my head, and the strangest thing was, you know, you've got 5 years under your belt at or around target and you think you're cruising. You really do. I say you, let me say I've got 5 years under my belt at or around target and I feel most of the time like I'm cruising in this. You know, when life is good and food is fine and I'm not going to go back to the person I used to be and I'm not going to go back to 22 stone and all this lot. And then you have a reality check because somebody you watch, an lovely American lady I watch, who started way heavier than me but got down to less weight than me, has now gone back to being around where I started, and that shook me. Watching that really upset me. And Joe said to me yesterday, he said, you've got to stop watching this lovely lady because it's making you fret, worry and be anxious about going back to where you used to be. And I had to agree with him and I had to remove the lady from my subscriptions. And likewise, I'm not going to be watching people who are talking about starting over and having gained weight and losing it again, because my head is just not in a mental place to take that at the moment. I'm not saying I never watch these people again. I might, excuse me, check in every 3 months and see how they're doing because I do care. I just know I'm in a very fragile state at the moment. My food has been, what do I mean food? Proper food has been fine when I've chosen to eat it, but I've been choosing not to eat. I've been choosing to binge. I've been choosing the wrong foods. I've been eating dairy, so for the last couple of weeks I've not been vegan or whole food plant-based. I haven't eaten any meat or eggs or fish, but I have eaten some dairy in the last couple of weeks, and you know what? It makes me feel physically awful. My joints are aching, my knees hurt, my hips are aching, and I know it's because I'm eating badly, you know. Now, from a weight perspective, which is what I'm usually focused on because the numbers really matter to me, from a weight perspective, I look at the weight I was in December. Excuse me, I've got a frog. I'm going to look at the whole of December, and I started on the 4th of December at 9 stone 9, which was, I think, a £2.5 increase on that day. By the 11th of December, I had dropped 3 pounds. I was back to 9 stone 6. I hadn't done anything different food-wise. Excuse me. Hadn't done anything different food-wise. I think some of it was fluid retention because I've got a problem with my right knee at the moment, and I do believe it is holding on to some fluid. But it's not going to be much. So on the 11th of December, I was 9 stone 6, which is fine. When I weighed in for Slimming World on the 18th of December, which is the first weekend I was missing, I was back up to 9 stone 9. Some of that was food, some of it might have been inflammation, but it wasn't a bad week. It wasn't a bad week because that was before most of this kicked off. I kept going every day. I've done the best I can. Sometimes the best I can do is being crap. Sometimes the best I can do has been okay. You know, sometimes the best I can do has been the best I can do and it's been good. But I haven't had a perfect week. So I said to my Slimming World consultant midweek last week, I might well take a holiday because I should weigh in on Christmas Day. All of our results were being put in on Boxing Day, so we could weigh in Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. We had a choice. So I should have weighed in on Christmas Day, and I said to her, I think this was on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think I'm going to take a week's holiday. By Christmas Day morning, I thought, Jane, what are you playing at? You can't start skipping weeks because you're going to put yourself into a problem situation. You skip a week, then you're going to skip another week, and the habit is then to say, I'll go back to Slimming World when I've got this whatever number of pounds off. I think people will relate to that because I'm sure I'm not the only one who's done it in the past. I've been at Slimming World for 5.5 years and I haven't missed a week. So when I got up on Christmas morning, I thought, sod this for a game of soldiers. I am not missing a week. I'm not falling down now. It doesn't matter what I weigh. I will text it to my consultant and I'll take it on the chin. I'm going to own it because it's me that's put this weight on. It's me that's done this. So I got on the scales at my normal 7 o'clock in the morning, Christmas Day, and I was 10 stone and half a pound. So that was in effect a gain of 5.5 pounds over the sort of 7 days that Richard had been in hospital and I'd been eating my feelings. Because what I think shocked me more than anything was just how much I reverted to type and started to eat my feelings. I honestly thought I'd learned an awful lot about not doing that. And I honestly thought I'd got some coping mechanisms. But bottom line, I am the Jane I've always been. You know, I haven't had a brain transplant. I've just got a different shaped body, a different size body. And if I'm not careful, the body and the brain are going to get back in sync. And I could end up back at 22 stone unless I get my brain in gear and get my arse in gear. So I haven't had a really bad weekend. I didn't have a really massive meal on Christmas Day or anything like that. It hasn't been perfect, but it hasn't been as bad as it could be this weekend. And today I've got up, the house is clean food-wise. It's reasonably clean every other way, but the house is clean food-wise, and I am determined I am not going to let this slip. Because I know that if I let it slip too far, I may never get it back. That's a reality for me. It doesn't have to apply to anybody else, but it's a reality for me. I think what made me weigh on Christmas Day was watching the lovely lady from America that I've been following, and she does a weigh-in Wednesday, and she got on her scales and she then did her video, and her words were, "My scales have gained 10 pounds. I laughed. I thought it was funny. And then I stopped laughing because I thought, that's not funny. That's a woman in denial. Been there, done that. My scales have gained 10 pounds. No, love. You've gained 10 pounds. I've gained 5.5 pounds. It's not somebody that's done it to us. It's not somebody else that's going to carry that weight behind us in a bag. It's us. We've done it. I've done it. You've done it. And to come on a video after years and years of battling weight loss, after regaining 200 pounds and say, my scales have gained 10 pounds. Now, it doesn't matter whether that's overeating, fluid retention, constipation. It doesn't matter. The scales haven't gained anything. They're just an inanimate object. We need to face up to what we're doing. I need to face up to what I'm doing. So for now, that lady has had to go. I've unsubscribed from everything to do with Slimming World. I'm being honest with you. That's not because I don't care about Slimming World, and it's not because I don't care about the people who are doing it. It's because I have got to get back to a place where the only thing I'm focused on is how I'm doing it and getting this stone off that I want to lose. And I won't get that off by watching how other people do it. And I won't get that off by watching other people's shopping hauls that are actually shopping hauls for their families and include a load of crap. I just won't. I've got to do it for me. I didn't lose my weight watching Slimming World videos. I lost the majority of my weight focusing on how to lose my weight. I didn't really come to watching Slimming World videos until not too long before I actually started making my videos. And I didn't start making my videos until I was at Target. And I started watching people like Emma G and Donna Dybel, and I don't know if you can remember other people I used to watch, Joe. I can't. There was Lauren, and a lovely lady who had twins, mummy of twins. There were some fabulous people back there. But I didn't start watching those people to get inspiration to lose weight. I started watching those people to get inspiration to keep the weight off. Some of them still had a way to go. Some of them still have a way to go. Some of them are doing really well. But watching a video on a thing in my hand does not inspire me. I've got to want to do it from the heart. That's where I'm at today. Joe actually took my iPad yesterday and unsubscribed me from 50 channels, probably. A lot of those weren't Slimming World, but a lot of them were about plant-based and vegan eating. And he said to me, you will not get slim watching other people do what they're doing and saying, oh, I couldn't do that, oh, I couldn't eat a whole head of broccoli, oh, I couldn't this, oh, I couldn't that. You've got to focus on what you can do. And you can lose weight when your head's in the right space, Mum, and when you want to for you. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it for me. So, you know, my videos aren't going to stop. My journey's not going to stop. My weight loss is not going to stop. I've got to believe in me. And I've got to stop eating my feelings. I've got to allow myself to feel those feelings, which I find very hard. Yeah. Right, one more thing while I'm on here. A week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks now, and Debbie did a review video on a weighted blanket. And Joe and I have been looking at weighted blankets for about a year, and we decided to go ahead and buy a couple. So we ordered them there and then, and they came the next morning. And we're really happy with ours, aren't we, Joe?
Yeah, they're great.
They're great. One thing I'm not happy with is that they don't fit into a double duvet cover. I mean, they're not as big as a double duvet. They're not as wide as a double duvet. So they don't fit into a double duvet cover. So you're stuck with the cover that comes with it, whichever one you buy. We've got the grey covers that come with ours. Well, actually, Joe's put his in his double duvet cover with a bit of space at the sides. I've put mine in the cover that comes with it. They're not the easiest of covers to put on because there are loops and ties all the way across the top, sides and bottoms of the blanket that you have to actually fasten to keep the blanket straight in the cover because they're so heavy. But oh my, they are warm and cosy. Now each of these blankets weighs about 20 pounds. So you know you've got the weight of, if you remember when you were young, you older viewers like me, we used to have the weight of blankets and counterpanes and all that sort of thing. Well, they're heavy like that, so each of these blankets weighs 20 pounds. If you're on your own, you might struggle with it because it takes some going to put the cover on. I put mine on the floor this morning when I changed my bed, changed the sheets on my bed. My God, when I had to pick it up again, knowing it weighed 20 pounds, I was thinking, bloody no, I could do with losing 20 pounds. I wouldn't want to carry this around all the time. 20 pounds would about get me back to the lowest weight I've been at Slimming World. Brilliant, absolutely lovely. You could not use them in the summer because they're far too warm, aren't they, Joe?
Yeah.
This is a perfect time of year for a weighted blanket. The one that Debbie was showing us is like, I think it's $79.99. And she didn't actually mention the price, but that's what we paid, and we've got the one that Debbie actually showed. The thing I would add here is Aldi are selling them at the moment, and they were under £30. They had two different ones, didn't they? They had the 7 kilo one.
Yeah, a 7 and a 10.
And then they had the 9 or 10 kilo one, which is the one we've got. And they were both under £30. But I remember them being something like 120 by 200 centimetres. So they might be more the size of the double quilt cover, although they did come with cotton covers. So they're a good buy if you're looking for one. But one thing I'd be mindful of is, because they are literally, the one we've got is literally the width of a double bed, I think it would be very difficult if two of you slept in the same bed. I mean, we both have double beds. But if you had two people under that cover, I think you'd struggle. I think you need one each, which would be very strange. But yeah, thanks for the recommendation, Debbie. Thanks for the review. We are really glad we bought them. But anybody out there who's looking for one, you don't need to pay £80. Aldi have got some very, very similar at under £30. And I must say that when I get into bed at night, and I have a sheet and then this weighted blanket over the top of it, when I get into bed at night, I wake up in the morning and nothing's moved, not even a wrinkle in the sheet. It does make me feel snug and warm, and I'm sleeping really well with it. So yeah, just wanted to mention that in case anybody had looked at them and thought, that's a lot of money for a weighted blanket. The other thing I would say is we have really good duvets. You can't use one of these and a duvet. So if you've got a really good duvet and you don't want to put it away and use something else, be mindful of that, because you could not use one of these and a duvet, otherwise you'd roast yourself like a turkey. Right, I'm going, we've got a long walk to do. That's our news, that's where we're at today. So 10 stone and half a pound on Friday, last Friday, which was Christmas Day, and we'll see where I am this coming Friday. But I'm not giving up, I'm not going back. Take care everybody, stay safe. Bye.